12:02 p.m. No final decisions were made and no votes were taken in executive session. The public phone line or MS Teams has been unmuted and representatives of the media may once again report all board discussions and actions. So we're moving on to our next agenda item. Items for board action. Are there motions to be made?
This is Meredith Mance in cases 22-01544 and 22-01536. I move to issue a notice of intent and require an education course in newborn assessment, including evaluation of and response to abnormal findings. I move to delegate the approval of the course to the chair and to delegate the approval and signing of the final written notice to the chair. And with the opportunity for the respondents to request an informal settlement conference, I move to assess the cost of the disciplinary proceedings to the respondents.
Meredith, I think I have those cases as 22-10544 and 22-10536.
That's what I said, but if I said them wrong, I apologize.
Okay.
That's what I have written.
Great. Motion has been made.
This is Wendy Smith and I second it.
A motion has been made and seconded. I'll call for a vote. Kelsey Fisher, aye. Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Christine Morales.
Aye.
Meredith Mance.
Aye.
Lynette Pettibone.
Aye.
Motion's passed.
This is Meredith Mance again. In case 22-1585, I move to open a case on an additional midwife.
This is Wendy Smith and I second.
Motion has been made and seconded. I'll call for a vote. Kelsey Fisher, no. Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Christine Morales.
Aye.
Lynette Pettibone.
Aye.
Meredith Mance.
Aye.
Motion passes. Case is opened.
This is Meredith Mance again in cases 23-10678 and 23-10679. I move to close as per the board's direction.
This is Wendy Smith and I second.
Motion has been made and seconded. I'll call for a vote. Kelsey Fisher, aye. Wendy Smith.
Aye.
Christine Morales.
Aye.
Lynette Pettibone.
Aye.
Meredith Mance.
Aye.
Motion is approved.
Okay. I think that was it for that.
Great. If there's no further items for board action, we are moving on to other board business.
Yes, and this is Bob. So we have some alternate meeting dates for the board to consider. We have September 7, and you can stop me anytime if we want to look at calendars as I go through them. And I don't know if you were provided. This is typed on a blank page for me. September 7, September 21, September 28, October 5th, October 19, or the 26th.
Can I ask a question? Why are we proposing alternate dates? What's happening?
That's a good question.
Talk to that.
I
can talk to
for
that.
the
This is
September 14th. That appears it's not going to work. If we can't make it work. There we go. Thanks, April. So I think there was some indication September 14th is out there, but if it can't work, these would be the alternate dates.
This is Meredith Vance. All of those dates work except October 19th. That's not doable for me.
This is Christine Morales, and I can only do the September 28th for the September date, and I think you said I don't know what other October. I don't think the October dates work either for me. So just
So
that
they were.
I'm working all the except for the day that we already have. I think we have a meeting. It says on the 12th of October. Are we trying to cancel both the October and September meetings and have just one, or are we trying to do different meetings for both months?
Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, okay, so we currently have a meeting on the calendar for October. What we were wanting to do is we have a couple of settlement conferences that we would like to get done. And one of them we were going to have on the October meeting, but we have two that we would like to do before the October meeting separately. And we were proposing that we had a kind of a placeholder meeting for September 14th that we had originally done, but the board had decided to not have unless we needed to have it. And we're basically coming back and saying, hey, we would like to have that meeting on the 14th. If the 14th doesn't work, or if the board can't meet that day, or if that day doesn't work, then we have some alternative dates in September that we could look at as well. But if the board could meet on the 14th and just basically have that meeting that we kind of have a pin in, a placeholder for, then that would be great. If not, we have some alternative dates. I don't think that there's any reason. We're not asking at this point to move the October meeting. We're planning on having the October meeting as scheduled. This is a second meeting in order to do some settlement conferences.
Okay. Well, then this is Christine. The 14th or the 28th of September work for me, so I can do either of those dates.
This is Lynette, and I cannot do the 14th. I can do the 28th, and I cannot do October 12th, but otherwise I'm available.
And this is,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Wendy.
okay, I'm going to go. Wendy Smith. I cannot do the, September. Can you say that? I had it all planned out.
14.
Yeah. I can do the oh shoot. I can't do the 21st of September. Sorry about that. And I cannot do October 12th.
Yeah, October 12th is bad for me.
And actually, I can't do the 19th either. I'm sorry, October 19th, I can't do.
So I do think we should just move the October 12th meeting because I am out of town that weekend or week.
Could we move October to the 26th? Is that possible for?
That's on the option list, yes.
This is Meredith Vance. That works for me.
This is Christine. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. The 26th, I have another conference, a CME conference, so I won't be.
We should have our public member by then, so.
I'm trying to miss it if it works for other people and you have enough people without me.
The other thing is, do we have a November meeting? Because I don't know, November 2nd might work for the October meeting.
No.
There was one scheduled on the 16th that was canceled, or I'm so confused about how this we're
Can
not
we just send
having
out,
it unless we're having it.
is it possible that we can like send out a doodle poll or something to everybody for these meetings so we can figure out rescheduling them?
Yeah. Yeah, April
Just because
will
it
do
seems
that.
confusing to try and figure this out like this.
Yeah. All right,
That's
can you do it today?
Yeah, do that today and start doing it for the October meeting.
Yeah. So we'll do it for the September and October meeting, and April will send that out today.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
I have one other board business about just the to kind of go back to the regulatory report from before about just clarifying the way the cases are counted, so that that little chart only shows the cases that the board is investigating, correct? And once we issue a notice or close a case, that's when they fall off that list.
Krampus? I think
Give me a second to turn it back on. Yeah, so there's a couple of sections on that report. The top section where it says open cases, those are cases that are basically currently being investigated, or if there was a notice proposed, the time between them being decided and the notice actually going out. So once either they have been closed as, whatever status, or the notice has gone out, then they are closed in our system and they move down to the other half of that report for the show cases that are completed. It's trying to give a sense of what is still out there being, actively investigated and hasn't had a decision made on it yet. So I know that there's still a time frame after the notice goes out till it's really fully resolved, but that doesn't reflect on the
And so then the board also does, so cases that might not be listed in that, but that we might still be involved with, is if there's an informal settlement conference or anything else happening between the notice and the final orders. And then sometimes we have to approve things that we requested in final orders. And then do we ever hear back about cases that like go to, whether they go to hearing or not? Because I know that that's something else that happens.
Yeah, so if a case is to go to hearing, it goes all the way through the process and goes to a hearing, then when the final order, the law judge will typically issue a proposed order, and then there's a process that goes through, and then when it comes back for a final order, it gets one last time back with the board, because that final order then is eventually fully issued by the board. So yeah, it does eventually come back to the board even after a long hearing process.
Okay.
So yeah, but again, those cases would show as not open cases. They would show as a closed case. In other words, it's not something that the board is actively involved in.
And then is there anywhere that like a record of cases that are going to hearing lives publicly, or is that all still confidential?
Well, if a case was going to be going to hearing, it would be out. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily show up as a hearing request. It would, whenever we issue a notice, those notices get issued on the public website. So if you were to go on the public website and look at a notice that has been issued, there would be just a notice there. And once a final order is issued, then the final order is issued. But the process in between isn't really a very public process. I mean, it's not put out there as a public process. I'm not sure what all of the, it would depend on what somebody was asking for, you know, but it's not put out
Okay.
there as a public process.
I have to hang up. I have to.
So.
Okay,
So
thanks,
I'm really
Susie.
sorry. I have to hang up. Bye.
Still have quorum, it looks like, right? 1, 2. Yeah, we have stuff 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, thanks. I was just looking for more of an overview of the process.
Yeah, and Kelsey, you can see this report was generated June 23rd, so they do get, they're generated a few weeks ahead, and then some things may fall off after that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to give you an up-to-date review, even though what you're looking at is what you're looking at, but we update it, give you a live review of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Heather. I think that the board should vote on a September meeting date. They normally vote on when they're holding their meetings. So if they can't decide on one particular date, perhaps they can say alternative dates, but they should be voting to approve a date, at least for September, and then they can take up additional dates at a later time.
Let me have that because I want to vote on it.
Yeah, it sounded like we didn't settle on a September date either, so.
Yeah. And so Heather, we'll clarify the dates for September to make sure I understand what you wanted. I mean, I get the vote part, but we'll list the dates in September.
Heather, are you saying that we should just vote on one now and then offer?
The board should be approving which date they're going to be meeting on.
I don't think that we agreed though.
Right. So if you don't have an exact date, then what you could do is say the 12th or the 14th, whichever date has the most people attending. But you're supposed to be on the call of the board holding meetings as the board determines. And so that vote would need to happen either today or sometime between now and the September meeting in order to hold the meeting.
So if they vote, for example, if they vote for the 14th of September and that date changes, we're fine.
I think that, you know, they could say the September 14th or the alternative, sorry, I don't have my calendar right in front of me, the alternative date of, pretend it's the 21st, September 21st, pursuant to the board's direction of whichever date has the most members that can attend. And then you have 2 alternative dates that the board has approved, and then you'll be able to figure out which one most board members can attend, and then that will give you your date for the next meeting. I'm sure there's a variety of other ways to go about approving it, but main issue is to vote on a possible meeting date today so that you have it for September, unless you want to meet again to take a vote on that.
Okay, so what were the options in September?
April was the 14th still on the table? Okay, so September 7, 14, 21, 28.
7 and 21 are better for me. I think Wendy was limited though to only one of those dates. It was the 28th.
Well, I
Oh,
just cannot do the 21st.
Oh, okay.
My preference is the 28th, and I think that was also Meredith's preference, possibly.
September is
I'm gonna be
flexible.
out.
I can make that work. It's the October dates that I'm not flexible on.
Lynette, the
So-
7th isn't good for you?
No, I'm actually probably out of the country for 2 weeks.
Okay. So it sounds like the 28th is best. Or did the 21st work?
Sounded like the 28th maybe.
The
So
28th
maybe-
works.
Okay. Does someone want to make a motion about that?
This is Meredith Vance, and I move that the board has its next meeting on September 28th.
Thanks, Meredith.
Thank you so much.
This is Wendy Smith, and I'll second that. But can I add that unless that date turn, or the alternative date that chooses, wasn't that the wording?
Oh, yeah. With a possible alternative of the 21st.
Or, well, with a possible alternative, whichever can be attended by the most people, I think was the wording that was used.
And it looked like I thought I heard right was October 26th.
I think we're staying in September just to make sure we have a September date. So
Oh,
the
okay.
alternative would be September 21st. Is that
28.
correct?
28, I believe.
Well, the 28th is what was proposed. So with the 21st as an alternative.
Okay, there we go. Okay, got it.
Okay, a motion has been made that the board will next meet September 28th with a possible alternative date of September 21st if necessary. I'll call for a vote. Kelsey Fisher, aye. Wendy Smith,
Aye.
Lynette Pettibone,
Aye.
Meredith Mance,
Aye.
and Christine left the meeting, so that is everyone, and that motion passes. Is there any other board business?
I don't think there is on HLO's side.
Okay, great. Then let me find my other script that I should have memorized because it's one sentence. Okay, the Board of Direct Entry Midwifery meeting is adjourned at 12:25 p.m.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.